My Mother's Child is presented by Hoshino Resort Guam.
I am the youngest out of 3, so I have an older sister, Danielle, and our brother, Justin. And I was always told that I was one of the most difficult kids because I really like to test my luck with my mom's patience. So do you want to share any stories that stand out to you regarding that?
I don't think so much testing, but I think it's more, you would just ask questions that your brother and sister would not dream of asking. I think there was one time where I was upset with you guys because you didn't clean the house. And it was quiet and you just said, "Mom, are you going through menopause?"
Oh my God. And how old was I?
You must have been like 7. And your brother and sister looked at you like, "Are you crazy? Do you want to live?" And I just thought, oh my gosh. But yeah, I have to say having you was more like, I think it was just God's way of saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to keep you on your toes, I'm going to keep you young, I'm going to give you Courtney, So
after you had me, you're like, we're done, we don't need any more kids.
One of the characters that you had growing up that I really liked was that you were able to laugh at yourself, that you didn't take yourself too seriously. And now, with your brother and sister, all of you have your own personalities. Danielle was very serious, she didn't really want to do anything unless she knew what the outcome was. Justin was more laid back, like, yeah, let's just try it, but still, shy. You were just sort of like, if you messed up, you would just bust out laughing. And I would tell your brother and sister, you could learn from that. Learn to laugh, laugh at yourself.
I think when we were younger, one of the lessons now that I understand as an adult, but I didn't understand when I was a child, was being able to just quit anything whenever I wasn't fully enjoying it. So, growing up, I know you wanted us to have a social life outside of school and to keep busy so that we weren't just rascals during the summertime. So I remember you had put us in dance, and for the most part, for a majority of our childhood, we danced competitively. And there were a couple times where we wanted to quit, it wasn't going according to plan, and as a kid, we never understood why you wouldn't just let us quit. We were always saying, how come she doesn't just allow us to walk away when we're not happy? But now I understand it because I feel like that specific lesson has transferred into how we all approach life now. And, going into the workforce, going after your career, it's not always gonna be easy and you're not gonna always love it 100%, but being raised to not give up, push through, and that it does get better is something I'm very appreciative of learning from you. Even if I didn't understand it when I was a kid, I understand it now.
With you, when you decided to become a cycling instructor, I just said, okay, get out of bed, support this. And I think that's the one thing that I'm very proud of you about, is that I've really seen you blossom over the past 2 years. That I know that when things got difficult, sometimes you just want to give up. And to see you persevere through it was something that I'm very proud of you.
Well, I have you to thank for, learning to handle adversity and situations like that and to push through and, don't give up, finish, see it through the end. So I think my childhood and my relationship with you is, I would say it's unique in the sense of how close we are. I remember when I was working at one of my first jobs, and when you would come in or when I would answer the phone and it was you, and I'd be like, hey girl, they're all like, who are you talking to? And it's, oh, it's my mom. And everyone always was so surprised about how comfortable and how open I was with you. And I'm very grateful to have that relationship with you and to be able to, I don't live in the same house as you anymore. I'm now married. I live on my own. I have my own business with my husband, but we still have the same relationship, if not better. I think it's great that now, when I was living under your roof when I was younger, the way we would spend time together is taking trips together, or you just, raising me, taking me around. And now, being that you know, you're approaching your 60s, I'm approaching my 30s, that we've kind of found, I know it's out of, you know, support, but we found a common thing that brings us together a lot, which is working out and being healthy and encouraging each other to, you know, keep each other accountable. So I think it's really awesome that now, you know, with the studio, you come and you love it, and you know, it's by your own free will. I'm not forcing you, you know.
I know, but I mean, people joke and they said, "Oh, does your daughter force you to come?" I said, "No, I do it," and it's not easy. It's not easy, but I think that's what keeps me going, because I think when something becomes too easy, then it's time to find something else.
I think it's pretty cool that, you know, your background is in education. You went to school to become a teacher, and then you later on specialized to become a counselor. So education and being that guidance for kids, you know, is something that resonates with you and majority of your family. And although I didn't go into education, the career I've chosen, I think, is somewhat similar in the sense of guidance and, you know, instruction. So I think it's kind of cool to see that parallel.
Well, I think what's important is that you follow your passion. You know, all of you kids, that find what makes you happy. One of the things that I remember telling you guys whenever you did an activity, whether it be sports, whether it be dance, was when it stops being fun, then it's time to move on. You know, and I said, I don't want you stuck. And I tell students that too. I said, when you are looking at what you want to be in the future, also don't just focus on how much money you're going to make or what your parents want you to do. Focus on what makes you happy. And if that's what makes you happy, then work won't feel like work. You know, you'll enjoy it. You know, one of the things I do realize with you being my youngest, and just with your brother and sister growing up, how the relationship between parent and child has really evolved. Because when you were younger, you really needed the guidance. You had to have the guidance. And as you get older, there's a stage where you're more trying to become independent. And now I have to realize that when you guys do come to me with a problem or there's something happening, I have to kind of step back and remind myself, don't offer a solution right away. And I have to kind of remember to ask you, are you looking for some answers? Are you looking for advice? Or do you just need me to listen?
We have you to thank for raising us to be the adults we are now. So I'm super grateful for our relationship. I'm super grateful to have this time with you as we still both live on Guam. We just want to say Happy Mother's Day from Courtney and
Lou.
Love you, Mom.
I love you too, baby.
My Mother's Child is presented by Hoshino Resort Guam.